All right, all right. Welcome to the podcast, HASSDISCUSSES. We got Chigs Smooth, YouTuber,
Yes, sir.
and hip hop culture commentator, anything commentator. He commentates on a lot of stuff. Sometimes he posts clips of it. Sometimes he talks about it. And I fuck with his channel, and he does some live streams every now and then. I be fucking with, and yeah. Thanks for coming on, man.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate
Let's
it.
talk about Discord though. What have you heard from Discord when it comes to like what people think about it?
I heard pretty much a lot of content creators are like on it. And it's a pretty cool way to sort of interact with your fans. Instead of, messaging back on like YouTube comments, which I do anyways. But it's a cool way to sort of interact with your fans. But I've only been on it probably once and I was just so confused. I just logged out. But I definitely want to be on Discord. That's my next step because I know that a lot of my subscribers have Discord, so I definitely want to have that.
Yeah, and the thing about it is like people build their own communities where they have like stuff where people talk to people on it, and I just love to see that. It's really similar to Clubhouse, except it's way more like more like Reddit. If Reddit and Clubhouse were mixed into one, if you know what I mean.
Right? Can't you like also live chat too on there?
Oh no, this is pre-recorded and stuff like that. I could go Instagram live, I could, but
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I do this stuff pre-recorded, but yeah, dude. There's a
But I'm talking
recent.
about Discord. Can you live chat on Discord?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So basically, how Discord works, if you have like a fan community, because like if I have somebody I'm a fan of and they start a Discord, I'm hopping in. There's a lot of people
Yeah.
that are a fan of like a certain YouTuber, this, that, and the third artist, and we just talk about this, that, and the third. So you essentially there's like a audio channel or voice channel, and what you do is you end up going in that, starting a call, and anybody can hop in and out at the same time, but there is a certain feature where you can do a push to talk type of
Mm.
thing, or you can just have your thing, it automatically censor your voice and it has your voice pop up.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. See, I need that because I want to find a way to interact with a lot of my subscribers. With just regular YouTube comments, it's cool and all, but I think Discord will be really good. I
Yeah,
fuck with it.
man. And you know what's cool about you though is how long you've been doing this, you know what I mean? like
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
like what was that
Uh,
like, just starting this out? I mean, I know it's been a journey. You're, I don't know how much years, older than that time you started. But like, what was it like starting it, and what was your content like when you started the channel?
Bro, I've been on YouTube. All right, so for my specific channel now, Chick Smooth, I started that one back in 2012. Um, and then I was doing hip hop commentary on it, as well as also reviewing videos for like music videos, because that was back then, 2012, when artists were actually putting efforts into making good music videos.
It's true.
And so,
Yeah, I know what
yeah,
you mean.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I was actually reviewing videos on here as well, but then I stepped away because I was doing that back in college, 2012. So then I stepped away because I wasn't really making that much money on YouTube. So then I graduated college, and then I found a full-time job, started working that, and then that kind of strayed me a little bit away from YouTube. I would like post every now and then if something interesting happened, but I didn't really have any incentive to like come back on here. I didn't really have the passion, to do YouTube anymore. And I knew that, when I came back on YouTube, that I wanted to do something different. So then when I came back officially like full time in October of last year. I came back, and ever since then, I've been dropping videos. I've been dropping 3 to 4 videos every single day since last October. So that's almost been a year now. But I started YouTube back in 2008, actually. Back when I was still like, I was in high school back then in
Word.
'08. Huh? Yeah. So when I started there, and the channel is still up. I don't know if I want to shut out the channel because, like, yo,
Yeah,
I was
I know what you
I was
mean.
a little kid back then, man. Um, I was doing comedy skits, because I used to watch a lot of the like OG YouTubers like the Sean Raw, Timothy De La Ghetto.
Yeah, you did a video about Deshaun that I
Yeah,
checked
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He actually took that video and put it into like his actual last YouTube video of him, talking about, yo, why did Deshaun Raw quit YouTube or whatever. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, like I just enjoyed comedy skits, and I've always thought that I was funny enough and I could write well enough to do comedy skits. So I came on YouTube, started doing comedy skits here and there, and they would actually do pretty well too. And then I would also mix in some commentary as well. So like I was doing that on that channel for about probably 4 years.
Yeah.
Until that channel, I stopped going on there. Then I started this one called Chigs Smooth. But yeah, Chigs Smooth was mainly for like video reviews. But then slowly turned it into commentary because, rappers stopped making actual music videos. So yeah.
We should talk about that though. We should talk about that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like about music videos. You really hit the nail on the head about the current state of like, how do I say this? I think ever since Chief Keef, downhill. Let's be honest.
Yeah. To be honest, I think what happened was rappers figured out, yo, I don't have to spend $100,000, right? Because rappers would get like a crazy amount of money from their labels to shoot videos. So when people like Lemonade and other people were like, yo, I can shoot your video for like $1,000, that's when rappers stopped being, creative. And I feel like back then, music was in a weird space where nobody really cared about music videos anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because like so much music started to drop, right? After Chief Keef came out of Chicago, like a lot of kids said, yo, I can make music just like that too. I can also rap just like that. So like there was an influx of like rappers dropping music. So nobody was really taking the time out like it used to be back then when like, yo, you couldn't wait to see a music video back then.
And Lil B too.
Yes, yeah, bro, yeah. So I think that was the weird transition of just so many rappers putting out songs that it just basically diluted everything. So people weren't really making that many videos, because I remember back then, like Lil Wayne literally used to make a music video for almost every song he did.
Yeah.
So like every single morning I would check WorldStar. WorldStar used to always have like the crazy premieres for like videos. So I would get on WorldStar, check to see if anything came out, whether it was Wayne, Ross, Drake, whoever had a video up. I would take that, review it, put up on YouTube. Yeah, man, that was like the golden era of like music.
And most of the videos they look like Marvel movies,
Yeah, bro, like crazy effects, everything. And like it was actually creative. It made sense. It wasn't just rapper A, with like stacks of cash on his cars. It was like telling a story and stuff like that, man. Like, bro, I still go back and watch old music videos just the way that it feels. It makes me appreciate that.
You're just like me, bro. You're just like me because what I do with my my homies every now and then, we just like there's certain music videos that we like, people that I create content with. We watch music videos and we like, man, that'll be like us one day. We look at Bedrock or something like that. We look at the Bedrock music video. We look at the I'm On One video, the No New Friends video. And we're just like, man, one day, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just, it's so, the way it was done, everything was, it just looked, you wanted to be there.
Yeah. It made you want to actually be like an extra. Like it's funny that you mentioned Bedrock because back when I was younger, right? I don't know if you know Lil Twist.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him.
From like Young Money, yeah. So like Lil Twist used to be like the random kid in like almost every like Lil Wayne Young Money video.
Yeah.
And I used to think that was always so cool, just like being like a freaking cameo in like video. So I also wanted to be that. Like I wanted to be like the random cameo that like people would see often, but like nobody would know who that is. Like I always thought that was super, super cool.
And he had a lot of like I don't know what he's doing now, but Like I will always
Oh,
remember
yeah.
him. Yeah, who knows what people in Young Money are doing now? Like what's Gutta doing now? Getting a grocery
Gutta
bag.
Gutta, I think he's still rapping. I know Jay Mills. Jay Mills is still president of Young Money. I don't know the status of Young Money
But
and
Jay Mills,
what
he
that.
has
Yeah.
respect in the battle rap scene. I do know
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Jay Mills. Yeah, yeah. Jay Mills was definitely like an animal back then. And it's weird that he never really transitioned fully as a rapper. I think a lot of people know him from like Bedrock and like maybe one or two other Young Money songs. But yeah, man, he was nice.
Tyga,
He was definitely
Tyga
nice.
had longevity. I think because he knows how to he knows his audience, and that's strippers and club music
Yeah,
and TikTok, and like he knows how, like even musically, like there's always he's always got something. And I honestly think that Tyga, despite his music being very repetitive, I think he does have a consistent style. That's one thing I would say about Tyga.
oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, Tyga. From like probably what like 2011 ish, he had the one strip club song, and that one just went crazy. And from there, he just knew, all right, let me rinse and repeat this same formula. Like he would literally almost use the same lyrics, but just a different like beat. It was insane, and it would be a hit. He didn't
Yeah.
have to say anything lyrical. No one was coming to him to like hear something crazy. You would come to Tiger if you wanted to hear like strip club music. And it's funny because now that's sort of what his brand is, right? He's on OnlyFans, he's having sex with a bunch of chicks on there, he's like doing that. So
You know who else is doing
yeah,
that?
who?
Cash Out.
Cash out. Who the fuck is
Run
Cash out?
around with that, run with that. 36 hours
Oh
gonna
wait, he's
run
on
with that.
OnlyFans too.
Bro, like,
He's on OnlyFans.
but he's like not even like just like, oh, I'm just gonna post leaks of my music. Like he's straight plowing. Like he's straight
Really,
plowing,
bro?
bro. I don't subscribe, but I be on.
Yeah.
The thing about them, it's almost like there's some like imaginary script that anybody on that platform follows. It's you get a Twitter account, you post clips that are slightly revealing on your Twitter account, then you
Right,
put the
right, right.
link in the post, and then but he follows
Yeah.
that, and then it's like, you know what I mean? Like he's doing that. That's some wild shit too. Just the only
Yeah, it's
thing.
bro. Last year, bro, and I've said this so many times, the pandemic really revealed a lot of things about a lot of our favorite rappers, celebs. You learn that these people don't really have as much money as they claim. You learn that these people don't really care about their fans as they claim, because when regular fans were losing jobs, bro, I didn't see anyone come out and say, yo, I'm gonna donate. I saw maybe Cardi B and maybe one other person, but
Yeah.
everybody was just tucked away. They were not trying to like, help out their fans that actually support them, buy their tickets. And then you started to see like, I'm like, wait, I just saw you flex like 300K in cash. Why are you on OnlyFans like now having sex and stuff like that? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it showed you that these rappers, they just flex. They
And
just
they also know
flex,
how to
and
exploit anything.
yeah, yeah. I wasn't mad at them. Safari was probably the first rapper to get on OnlyFans and actually start, revealing like his body, having sex and stuff like that. And then I think Casanova was also doing the same thing as well, and then followed by other rappers. But I guess rappers need money. They couldn't do shows, they couldn't do tours, so hey, OnlyFans, and their music wasn't selling like that. They didn't have as much money saved because rappers, they just get money and they spend money.
And
So OnlyFans saved a lot of these rappers from doing something dumb and going back to jail. You know,
yeah, yeah. That's
real
good.
man.
That's fun. That's funny, bro. Yeah, that's true though, man. But
OnlyFans saved them.
yeah, and also the thing, I make music and I deal with music production. I have a music group, and we put out a decent amount of songs,
Yeah.
and I distribute through a service where I get 100% of my royalties. I just self distribute stuff because I don't have enough, to get a label. Anyways, I barely make jack. You know what I mean? I can't imagine what these people that like get like probably like a couple 100% more streams than me are making. You know what I mean? They're probably making like an engineer's, like half of an engineer's salary off of their royalties. You know what I mean? Like, honestly.
Yeah, there's very few rappers that are actually making money from the songs and their music, right? Because a lot of these rappers, they don't really even own their music. They just kind of make music and send it off to the label or send it off to their like team to like upload. You know, they mainly look at shows and tour money as their own money.
Yeah.
You know, very few rappers actually make money from the catalog. I think Russ was probably a prime example of somebody that did it the right way, that actually owns a lot of his music. And the guy, like, he still makes, I think he makes about $1 million to $2 million every quarter from, he's on, oh man, I forget the name of the Audio Mac. Is it Audio Mac?
Yeah. Damn, oh, shit, I gotta put music on there. I'm gonna get my planner out and write that down, you know? But,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, by the way, anybody who's having issues, get a planner. I'm starting this stuff. Starting to get my stuff down, get my goals down. Anyways, so Russ, he's consistent, another thing. And what people don't get is he did do a distribution deal, but there's a people got to get this, is there's a huge difference between a distribution deal and being signed, is because a distribution deal is essentially you go and you pick up a check.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and there's so much examples of people that do that where they have a distribution deal and and it all ends up working out. Like Puya does that. So Puya, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but what he does is when he releases like a big album. So his last album was The South Got Something to Say. So he released that 2019. That was in distribution with AWOL. But for his singles, he just self-distributes it. It'll be like on TuneCore or like a small EP, small mixtape. So I'm saying, like, that's the shit that these artists have to do. And, I mean, just, yeah, like, who do you think else has it right in the industry in terms of their business decisions?
Well, we could start at the very top with Drake. Drake definitely seems to have his business. He does have a couple people, a couple extra hands in his pot. But yeah, I think he has really good business. Kendrick also, I think a lot of the newer, bigger people, I think that they got smarter and they signed really smart deals to where they own about 90 to 100% of all of their music, which is the smart way to do it. You know, because rappers, they just see the upfront money. Oh, you're going to give me $1 million deal and I get that all upfront. Yeah, but they also own pretty much your whole life now. So yeah, I think that the rappers at the top that we're constantly seeing, you know, elevating, I think those guys really did smart with their deals.
Yeah, and so this is what I forget who told me this, but it was somebody, and it was a YouTuber. Maybe I watched it, but essentially, I can't quote anybody. I'll forget their name, but they say that labels are essentially banks. You get a loan, you know what I mean? But you got to pay it back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to, and you're stuck until you finish paying it back. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. Like, labels are literally banks that just essentially loan you money that you're gonna have to pay back, and sometimes with interest. You know, they'll give you like $1 million. That million, rappers don't understand that you gotta pay taxes. So you gotta take probably 30% off top from that million. You gotta go save it. You know, but rappers, they just spend, they buy cars, they buy houses, they spend money on clothes and jewelry. By the time you know it, you know, their music isn't hot maybe a year after that, and now they're in debt to their label. You know, so that's why we see a lot of rappers who like post and tweet, "Get me off my label, Universal has me in chains, they won't let me go." No, you signed a deal and you can't really fulfill your end of the bargain. You know, because rappers, they can't wait to tell you when they sign a huge deal, right? You see them, yeah, I just signed to Sony for $3 million. I just signed to here. But then later on down the line, they're going to be the same people that are going to be, you know, tweeting and Instagram posting saying, my label hates me. They won't put out my music. They won't do this for me. So, yeah.
So one of my biggest, what were you saying?
But I was gonna say it's a crazy cycle. And I'm hoping that eventually one of the music OGs, they can actually put together a true master class and essentially teach these rappers how to be smart and how to sign smart deals. You know, that's yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I totally feel you on that. We got to keep pushing that message, whether it be just posting about it. And I think everybody should continue to push the message. Is like handle, be as smart about business stuff as about your music. But I was gonna say something about one of the biggest people that I've interviewed. I'm not gonna say his name, but I was talking with his manager. I actually interviewed his manager, cool guy, and so he told me that Warner approached this up and coming artist, and it was a 90-10 deal, but he only got 10.
Damn.
Yeah,
He got super fucked. Yeah.
But he didn't sign that. He actually got a distribution with a different company, but he's still like independent and has his masters. It's a weird thing, but I don't know, man. People are just tempted to tap into those resources, man. You get a check, you know what I mean? You get that.
Yeah.
And it's a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them because like a lot of these rappers, they don't really come from much, right? So they don't have a lot of money. So they make a hot song, and one of these labels call them and say, "Yo, I got a check for like $100,000." And for some of these guys, that can change their life. That can put them into positions to where they can feed their family and stuff like that. So sometimes I don't blame them because that money is very tempting and it can definitely be life-changing, but they just have to be smart about what they're taking, because a lot of them don't really know what their worth is, so they just take what's offered to them initially, and that can end up really screwing them.
Yeah. Now I want to talk about something a bit different though. Your channel is probably one of the highest how do I say this? It was one of the it was probably the prime place where I would check out content centered around the recent Joe Budden podcast scenario. Did you predict that would happen prior to it occurring, or did you not think it would happen that way? Like what went down with the podcast?
No, man, no. I don't think anyone really. Well, some fans did, but I just mainly listened for like the jokes, right? It was a very, very like interesting podcast, funny podcast. I don't think anyone really saw it coming until probably towards the last couple episodes before you can tell, all right, something is off. And then when they went on vacation, that was a telltale sign of like, yeah, this might be it for this podcast. But personally, I didn't see any of that really coming. And I really enjoyed the podcast. And I do have to say this because, some of my subs might, will probably watch this. A lot of people think I hate Joe. I don't hate Joe Budden. I actually enjoy Joe's content. I'm just not a stan. I'm not a Joe Budden stan. I can call Joe out when he's wrong. I can say, yo, this guy did this wrong, or this guy has an ego. Because we all know Joe has an ego, and a lot of times fans don't want to call him out, or fans are just like super stans, so they're just gonna let stuff slide. So me, I was just basically calling him out and just basically saying, yo, like you did this wrong, or this isn't cool, or whatever it is. And I also give him props, and also let me just make it clear, like Joe is probably the only live show that I've ever been to. I went to his live show that was in New York City. This was in December of 2019, I believe.
Live what type of show? Like they did a live of the podcast, or are you talking about like?
Yeah. So they were on tour. They do like a citywide tour where they go to like different cities and just do like a live podcast. Basically talk and do certain things and stuff like that, like act out certain scenarios. It was cool. Yeah.
I'd love to see that though. Like yeah, like I love to see like just certain shows do that. Like what if like Joe Rogan does that, or what if like Adam? I don't think, or like I don't think they could do it, but I think there's certain shows that could do it. Like Kevin Smith does that every now and then and stuff like that. And Adam 22 though, like I'm not trying to be mean to Adam, but I think it's a bit going in. I think.
Going down?
I think I don't know. I think it's always like on and off with him, but I think there's always something different going on. There's gonna be some person that comes into his crew and starts saying some dumb shit that makes it unentertaining, and then he gets someone else. And I like how recently he got the big Mexican guy that's funny as shit. Oh my god, he's hilarious.
Duno. I think that's his name, Duno.
Yeah, him. And then AD's probably one of the best things to happen to No Jumper. At the end of the day,
He's cool. Yeah, I rock with him. Yeah, he's cool.
but like
Yeah.
mad lately, like what is that?
Yeah. I only watch specific interviews from Adam. I know like sometimes he'll interview a lot of porn chicks, and
That's where
I'm
I found
sorry.
him. You know what I mean? That's where I found him from. I didn't find him from the rap stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to hear porn chicks talk. That's just me personally. Tiana Trump, yes, but that's the only person I want to hear. So I think he's starting to move into that lane. And he just got a Patreon, so that's like exclusive content. If you get the porn stars, to like show a little nipple here, you can drive fans to your Patreon. But yeah, that's where I kind of see his platform going. He still
Howard
interviews
Stern type stuff.
Yeah, he still interviews, hip hop rappers there. But I think, maybe he's probably reached a certain limit to where he feels like, all right, this is becoming redundant now, right? Let me just start interviewing different people and different girls. So yeah, but I only watch specific interviews from Adam. It would have to be a guest that I find engaging.
Yeah, like a
I
gem.
think the last one, huh?
Like a gem, you gotta find that one gem out of the few.
Yeah, the Whack 101 was really good. The Joe Budden one was good. He had on the Fresh and Fit podcast guys. I thought that was pretty good too. But yeah, like I'm not interested in hearing porn stars talk. Like I don't know what he talks about with them. But he's had several OnlyFans and porn star girls, which is, hey man.
You want to hear
There's money.
What you say?
No, I'm saying he's definitely making money from it, but that's not really what I enjoy,
Yeah, so what he's been there's two things I want to tell you with the recent things of the content that's been like, oh, this is what Adam's doing now. So a girl went on who's an OnlyFans girl, ex-pageant girl actually, and she was like that's what she just like they always calmly say it. They always calmly say it. They're like, yeah, I was in a gangbang with 50 dudes one day. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like they just go right in. It's like just calmly saying it. And then Adam's like, whoa, explain every dude, like you know what I mean? Like explain everything. Yeah. And then they also have one where the Mexican guy brings the girl in, but the girl has a leash on and she's and she's like drinking water out of
the puppy girl. The puppy girl.
Yeah, dude, that shit.
I didn't watch that one, but I saw the pictures. Yeah,
shit's
Adam
funny.
Is a porn star though. He's on Pornhub, I think. Yeah. He's like a half porn star, half media person. His girl does like OnlyFans, so I think he joins in with her. Yeah, man. You gotta do what you gotta do to make that money.
I like how do I say this? It's like I dig it, but I do agree with you that there is. I'm very specific with the content I watch with him. Like I'd rather watch like a Jack Harlow one than a Black China one or a Selena Powell one, or you know what I mean. Selena Powell though, that's a whole different conversation. I don't know how she got successful. I just don't. Like besides of just going, like how do you think Selena Powell got successful? I don't get it.
I'd say academics.
Yeah.
Because she's an industry thought, and she used to try to be cool with certain blogs. And once she pulled the whole, I think it was Offset, pulled the whole like fake pregnancy thing, because a lot of blogs reported it thinking that it was real, but she faked them out, and the blogs just got pissed off at her and was like, yo, like you're no longer welcome on our site. Like we're not going to post you anymore. So she got onto academic stream, and from there they started being cool and kicking it. And yeah, that's pretty much how she got popular. And she still smashes rappers, and she was able to get some clout off of act. And then from there, she was just able to, go from there. But Honestly, man, like these thoughts kind of have it easy. Like if you really want to be in the industry, you just gotta be cool with like a media personality that's gonna post you or that's gonna just be seen with you, you know, and from there you just keep making your way up. But yeah, no, she definitely knew how to maneuver. Let me just say that she definitely knows like who to smash and who to, you know, suck for certain things. But yeah,
Yeah.
it,
And the thing about Ack,
it's weird seeing her seeing the status that she has, but I understand how she got
yeah, Ack though, he's starting a podcast though. Like, are you hyped for
there.
that? I assume you're hyped for that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah, yeah. Act is definitely cool. I'm not sure. Well, I know why certain people don't like him because they think that like he's a square in hip hop and he doesn't deserve to have a voice, but he's definitely a leader. You know, he gives people a lot of good information. He'll call out rappers for their bullshit. And he just makes really good entertaining content. So yeah, man, the podcast should be good because I know Ack loves to talk a lot, and you know he's gonna make it fun and entertaining. So yeah, it should be a really really good podcast.
And the first episode is Whack 100 and 6ix9ine, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that's gonna be good, bro. That's gonna be good. But I think, do you think though there will ever be a Drake and Ack interview, or do you think he'll never do it?
of course. Yeah, yeah. I think when the right time comes, I think Drake is definitely gonna give Ack his interview. You know, because Drake really messes with him, and Drake doesn't really. If you notice, Drake doesn't really rock with a lot of bloggers. Like, has he done the Breakfast Club? No, he hasn't, right?
No, I don't think he should
He
though.
hasn't. He
I
hasn't.
think it
He
would
hasn't.
be. I don't think it would be a good episode because I don't think they appreciate them because they're just. I gotta say this, they're just old. You know what I mean? Like they don't appreciate Drake as
You
much
think
as
so?
Act does, and they won't. And they won't. I don't think anybody that's like under the age of 35 or and we can make that 40 can appreciate Drake. That I mean, no, I don't think anybody above the age of 35 can appreciate Drake or 40 as much as
Really?
in terms of bloggers. In terms of vloggers, like there's gonna be a
Mm.
bias. I'm saying bloggers that are over the age of 40, there's
Okay.
always gonna be a bias towards like
Right. Right.
people, like
Okay. I see what you're
people's
saying.
grandmoms mess with Drake. I'm talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
bloggers, like in the stuff that they say.
Hmm.
Like you can tell just Rosenfield feels some type of way about this, that, and the third about Drake. So like I didn't want to say another thing about a blogger, and then I'll hear your opinion on this. Is Rosenfield? I think it was Rosenfield, but somebody was interviewing, or it was Bootleg Kev. One of them was interviewing Jack Harlow, and Jack Harlow was like, "Yeah, my favorite Drake project, Scorpion, bro. I think it's overhated. I love all the tracks on it. I love both sides. Blah blah blah." And bro, the blogger on there, which is just some old head, was so mad. He was like,
Yeah.
first off, Scorpion isn't even that good of an album, and also there's just so much other like better stuff that he's done on the old. Because I don't know, I just feel like I don't know. What do you think about like what people think of Drake when it comes to older bloggers?
I mean, some of those guys probably grew up on like older music and like music that wasn't really talking about your feelings, which is what Drake talks about. So like sensitive music, right? So some of them try to act hard and say, "Oh, I don't really mess with Drake because you know they don't like his music." But I mean, their wives and daughters are still listening to him, so it doesn't really matter. And I don't think Drake really cares about like media people because he knows that like whatever he does, that people are gonna pick up on it. And if you don't specifically report on Drake, 1,001 different bloggers are gonna report on what Drake does. You know, so yeah, Drake doesn't care about other bloggers not caring about him. But no, I was mentioning that because like going back to the conversation of Drake giving Ike his interview, at the height of the Breakfast Club being at the very top, if Drake never really gave them an interview, that should show you to the level that he doesn't really mess with bloggers. But the fact that he takes time and talks to Ike and gives him like information, I think that
Yeah.
one day
Yep.
that'll definitely happen.
Yeah, because he's always talking to him about something. Like he gives them info, like about like CLB recently, which that's bro. That's gonna be as soon as
CLB is
the
gonna be fire, man. It's he's pushed it back a lot. It was supposed to drop. I think the first ever date was New Year's. New Year's came, didn't drop. Drake like injured his ankle or something like that. And then the next date was gonna be Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day came, didn't drop. And then it was supposed to be sometime in like May, hasn't dropped. And then people said summertime is gonna be a summertime vibe album, nothing. So he's building a lot of hype, and I'm hoping he delivers because if he doesn't, this might be the Drake album that people turn on him, right? Every single artist has that album where they'll make and it'll reach the breaking point for fans, right? If it's not what fans are expecting from you, which is I don't know which way Drake is gonna go, right? Like he's done the rapping thing, the singing thing, the Jamaican thing, the Arabic thing.
the drill.
I don't know which yeah. I don't know which way Drake is gonna go with this next album, but it better be some of the best music that he's ever made. If not, there's gonna be a lot of pissed off Drake fans. And the same with Kanye West too and Donda. Like he pushed it back, supposed to drop on last Friday. It didn't drop, and now they're saying like August 8th or some shit like that. It better be some of the best Kanye music, or else people are gonna, be pissed at him.
Yeah, like the thing about the Donda thing is I haven't even tuned in. I'm just kind of done. Like I'm not done with Kanye West. I'm just saying I'm done obsessively looking at shit, waiting for something. I'm just gonna wait till it comes out. And I if I want stuff that's consistent, I have these like underground people that are like posting every day, because if you're like listening to new artists, like there's always going to be something that they put out, and it's going to be so much, and you're going to be easily satisfied as a musical listener, as opposed to like sort of dragging, like being a fan and dragging someone who's been doing this for like over 20 years to get into it. Like I'm saying, like the reason NBA YoungBoy fans are hugely obsessed with him is because he's like new and consistent. And I'm not saying all old artists are bad. I'm saying like it's hard for them to find that enthusiasm. You know what I mean? Like it's hard for them too.
Yeah. Like I'm happy that I'm not a fan of like any of these artists that take years to drop an album or to drop a song. Like you still got people out here that are like heavy Kid Cudi fans, heavy J. Cole fans, heavy Kendrick fans. And that's fine, but these are guys that like take years in between albums and sometimes in between new music.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do in that in between time, and how do you still remain a fan? I guess that's what makes them a fan, because they're willing to wait however long. But yeah, I just like just new and good music. I don't think that I'm a fan of anyone. I just enjoy certain good music at a certain time.
Well, I mean, what you been listening to this week, or
this week?
Yeah.
I listened to the Pop Smoke album. I love 3 songs off of that album. And what else have I been listening to? Fabio Foreign. I love his Funk Flex freestyle. That was probably one of the best freestyles that anyone has ever done on Flex's show. And that's pretty much it. And a bunch of like sort of older music. I'm not really in tune with like any of the new guys that drop, bro. There's like 1,000 new artists that drop songs every single week, and if it's not a sound that'll catch my ear, I'm not really going to go listen to it.
Yeah, like since I make music, or I like do journalism for like underground musicians, like just like smaller people like that only have like a couple thousand followers, like I'm really only listening to like friends. You know what I mean? Like that's really what I listen to. And if I listen to something that's like super mainstream or something like that, it has to be like something that's like really worth my time. But a majority of the time I listen to stuff that I either sample or stuff that I listened to as a kid, like just like straight up like Flashing Lights, or even Lady Gaga. And back on music videos, Lady Gaga music videos were fire. Oh my God.
Just Dance music video, bro, I used to watch that video every single day. Lady Gaga, I used to be a really, really, I'd say I was a fan of her. Just because, bro, like she was different when she came out, you know, with just her look, her music sounded different. Like
She
I
had
just
aesthetic. She
then,
had style.
yeah,
Like she
bro,
wasn't
like
just an empty pop veil of nothingness. She actually had style, aesthetic. She had like an actual set. Like yeah, I totally like. I defend you being a huge fan of her. You know what I'm saying?
bro, my subscribers might kill me for this, but like she was dropping back to back hits and like Just Dance, Paparazzi, um, the one with Britney Spears, I think. Bro, wait,
And
did she have some? Yeah, maybe. But bro, like, yeah, she's still got like at least probably 4 songs that I still like to this day.
and Alejandro, that's no, that was a banker too. But you got pop,
Mm-hmm.
you got those pop stars doing stuff like that 10 years ago with all the background dancers, and then in the modern age, you have people like Claro, which I'm about to show to you, and what they do. I'm gonna show you a Claro. This thing's popping up real quick, and you're gonna be like,
Okay.
yeah, that's right. These DIY kids. Hold on. Here we go. And here we go.
That's Claro.
Yeah, but that's her music video. Is her just standing in front
Okay.
of a webcam doing this. It's a good
Wait,
song.
that's an actual video for the song?
Yeah,
Okay. Hey.
I know. It's a good song. But like that's just so that right there just shows how much of a difference you is, and you really like really made me realize that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. What do you think about What do you think about like the Lil Baby and Drake comparison? Because we were talking about Drake. Do you think Lil Baby's gonna outshine Drake one day, or what do you think about that?
Probably not. Probably not. Simply because Lil Baby, you know, he makes music. He makes sort of one dimensional music, right? And it's really good music, but it's not gonna reach a wide audience like a Drake would, right? Lil Baby is not gonna be speaking in Arabic. He's not gonna be making, you know, like Afrobeat songs. He's not gonna. He may collab with a couple artists. I think he has a collab with Davido, but his music and his style of rapping, and it's at no fault to him. That's just not. He's not global, right? I don't see Lil Baby going global. I don't see him, you know, like doing global tours. I mean, he probably could, but his music and his style of rapping just isn't global, right? He can't freaking speak in Spanish and make a Spanish song with like Bad Bunny like Drake could.
Yeah.
So in hip hop world, if we're talking hip hop world, he can definitely get close to Drake as far as, you know, just putting out consistent music that's good and appealing to like hip hop fans. But as far as global, which Drake is global, he's not. He will probably never touch Drake as far as that. And to be honest, I don't really think that many current rappers can do global songs. I think the baby, what we're seeing now with the baby, I think he's trying to make that move to sort of go global and make different songs. Big difference about the baby and Lil Baby is that the baby is able to make different kind of music, right? He can make a music about like just rapping about his life, or he can make a dancing music, and he actually like dances in his music videos. So he's able to sort of do different things that can take him to that level, whereas the baby is sort of one dimensional. So if you want to be a global artist, you gotta sort of be able to attract a wide variety of audiences to you.
And you also have to look at like you actually have to look at these statistics for who is listening to your music. And I'm not saying
Mm-hmm.
just like start rapping in their language, but like get a
Yeah.
show over there. Like I happen to be very involved with the underground horrorcore community and like that sort of Suicide Boys brand of rap, that sort of Space Ghost perp dark type of music and stuff like that. That sort of like
Mm-hmm.
that all their fans are Russian. You know what I mean? So they all make
Okay.
so they like a lot of that genre of funk and horrorcore. That's all really a Russian fan base. So what they do, and this is how they've grown their fan base. This is a secret if you're a horrorcore artist and you're watching this, is a secret tip for you: is make a VK account. That's the Russian equivalent. That's a Russian social media account, and they like interact with their fans on the Russian social media account. You know what I mean? So like you gotta find that, and I think Drake's is a good example of that. But there's also just just looking at your audience, man, and stuff like that. But I want to talk about a couple more things before we wrap this up. What was that first album that you checked out when you were a kid that you just got obsessed with? Like the first album that you got really obsessed with as a kid?
Probably 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. I think that was probably the first ever one, because I wasn't really like an album guy, right? Like I was more so just one-off songs, right? I would hear songs from like the radio, I'd hear this song and that song. So I was introduced to like many different artists, but like 50 Cent stuck to me. Like a lot of 50 Cent songs, his older songs, I still play to this day. I was just playing Candy Shop. I was just playing Window Shopper. So when he dropped that album, I was like, yeah, I have to listen to this. So I got the CD, got a CD player, and I was just like zoned out.
Yeah, that's just a straight classic and stuff like that. And he's got a great story, and I fuck with 50 a lot. That was him around the time I heard. I think my first like that was probably like Best I Ever. The one that Best I Ever had. No, not Best I Ever had. It was Thank Me Later. That was the project that I got involved with. But right around then, that was when I got into a Millie, and then I got into like all of that brand, that style, that old late 2000s or mid 2000s. Yeah. I miss that style, like man. 09. Yeah, man. I miss like from the 2000s era for rap. I think was really good. I think it's probably one of my favorite eras. And I've always said this. Yeah. I like to push this agenda. My agenda on the music industry is 2009 to 2013 is the best era of rap music, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. 09 to yeah, a lot of great music came out during that time. For me, I would extend it as far back as 2003.
Okay, yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
R&B, like even R&B songs, where like it just hit differently back then, man. Like I don't know if you know the song "Bad" by J Holiday. Like that song is amazing. Plies was coming out. He came out with Shorty.
What's that song called? Let me write that down.
It's J Holiday. The song is called "Bad." It's a really nice R&B music when you're about to get into that, into that mood. But yeah, for me, the golden era so far was probably 03 till probably 2012, 2013-ish.
Yeah.
2016 was also pretty good. A lot of good music came out and dropped that year. After that, nothing really, like, hasn't really been any artist with like music that's really, really stuck since then. People are gonna have their preferences, but for me, definitely 03 to like 2013. That 10-year was like probably the best era for like music.
And if in the modern age you want to find music that you like really enjoy, you gotta dig. You gotta be prepared to go some digging. You know what I mean? You gotta go look.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like nowadays I really don't even go digging. Like I just hear, like I'll be on Instagram scrolling and I'll hear like a snippet. If it sounds good, then I'll check you out. So rappers, up-and-coming rappers, a little tip for how consumers find your music: snippets. Make a 20, 30-second snippet and have some blogs post you on it, me or whatever, and I'll post you. But make a snippet, because that's what's gonna catch people's eye. Like there's not too many people that's going out there and searching for new music. I know Spotify and Apple Music, they do their best to like, show you the new music that came out that year or like that day. But honestly, the way I find new music is just like snippets that's posted on IG.
That's facts. And before we wrap this up, if you got any content that you're preparing to put out, what do you got prepared to put out?
I still have a bunch of videos that I have coming out. But the one thing that I do want to get into is Patreon. I want to dabble into Patreon because I have a good amount of content that it's not really YouTube friendly content, and I want to post them for people to watch and listen to, but I'll probably get into trouble, with YouTube. So I think for me next is sort of carve out a lane for Patreon. I want to start doing some exclusive content. I have a lot of really good ideas for what I want to do content wise on Patreon. That unfortunately, because you and I both know YouTube, it's family friendly. You can't even curse on a video and monetize it. So I'm definitely looking towards moving certain content to Patreon.
That's true. That's true. Thanks for coming on the show, man. Had a good talk with you. Thanks for coming on, man. Link in the description to your channel, your social media. Thanks a lot, man. Really, really appreciate you coming on the show, man. Had a good time.
For sure, man. Thank you, man. And I just want to say, yo, man, keep doing your thing, bro. Like I see all these interviews that you're doing, all these podcasts that you're grinding out. Yo, your work ethic is definitely consistent, and it's definitely what's gonna take you to the top, man. Like there's not a lot of people doing content like you. And, I know how, you may feel some type of way about Adam, but I definitely see some early Adam in you where he's just interviewing all these underground dudes. Like I'll go to your channel and I'm like, who the hell is this? Then I'll listen to the podcast. I'm like, okay, cool. This guy's cool. Let me check out his, music. So I definitely want to say like, yo, like shout out to you, man. You've been grinding, and I definitely see it. And trust me, man, it's definitely gonna pay off. Because a lot of people think YouTube is easy, but you have to be consistent. You gotta just keep putting out content. And for you, like I know it's gotta be tough. I know it's gotta be tough to crank out like hour-long plus podcast every single week and stuff like that. So man, yeah, man, shout out to you, bro.
As Solze once said, the game is a marathon, not a sprint.
I like that.
All right, bro.
I like that. Thank you, man.
See ya.
Thanks for having me, bro. All right, peace.